say you've got quite a mind for your age. Why, one thing, and you've dragged us right onto the stage. Now that you're here, there is no telling what may ensue. At such as me and a thinker like you. Our story begins with a very strange sound. The drums of the jungle beginning to pound. Now, picture a sky. It's the jungle of Newell. Now, picture an elephant lumbering through. That's Horton. Horton, here's a who?
On the 15th of May, in the jungle of Newell, in the heat of the day, he was flashing, enjoying the jungle's great joys, with Horton the elephant, Horton the elephant heard a small voice. I'll help you, said Horton. But are you and where? He looked and he looked, he could see nothing there. But a small speck of dust blowing past through the air.
Really good.
I've got to say,
Humped voice. 'Twas a sour kangaroo, and the young kangaroo in her pouch said, What?
That speck of dust is as small as the head of a pin. A person on that, why there never has been. Believe me, I tell you sincerely, my ears are quite keen and I hear them quite clearly.
I know there's a person.
I know there's a person on that speck of dust. Once more, maybe 2, even 3, even 4.
Quite likely a family for all that we know. A family with children just starting to grow.
So please, as a favor to me, will you
Try not to
try
disturb.
not to disturb them?
Just please
Just
let them
please let them be. I think you're a fool.
laughed the sour kangaroo, and the young kangaroo in her pouch said,
Me too.
You're the biggest.
You're the biggest white fool in the jungle of Newell.
And the kangaroos plunged in the cool of the pool.
I
What terrible splashing, the elephant frowned.
can't let my very small persons get drowned.
I've got to protect them. I'm bigger than they. And he plucked up the clover and hustled away. Through the high jungle treetops, the news quickly spread. He talks.
He talks to a dustbag.
He's out of his head.
Just look at him off with that spot in his flower.
And Horton walked worrying almost an hour. Should I put this speck down? Horton thought with alarm. If I do, these small persons might come to great harm. I can't put it down, and I won't, after all.
Person's a person, no
Horton stopped walking. The speck voice was talking. The voice was so faint, he could barely just hear it.
Speak up, please.
He said, and he put his ear near it. My friend, you're a very fine friend. You've helped us folks out on the dust speck no end. You've saved all our houses, our ceilings, our floors. You've saved all of our churches and grocery stores.
You mean you have buildings there too? Oh, yes. We certainly do.
I know, called the voice. I'm too small to be seen, but I'm the mayor of a town that is friendly and clean. Our buildings to you would seem terribly small, but to us who aren't big, they are wonderfully tall. My town is called Whoville, for I am a Who, and we Whos are all thankful and grateful to you. And Horton called back as to the mayor of the town.
You're safe now. I won't let you down.
But just as he spoke to the mayor of the speck, 4 big jungle monkeys climbed up Horton's neck. The Wickersham brothers came shouting, "What rot!" He is talking to Whos who are not. There aren't any Whos, and they don't have a mayor, and we're gonna stop all this nonsense.
So there.
They snatched Horton's clover and carried it off to a black-bottomed eagle named Vladikoff.
We can kind of get rid of it.
And before the poor elephant even could speak, the eagle flew off with the flower in his beak. All that afternoon and far into the night, that black-bottomed bird flapped his wings in fast flight, while Horton chased after and begged, "Please don't harm all my little folk
Please don't harm all my little folks.
who have just as..."
To live as us bigger folks do.
But the eagle kept flapping and over his shoulder called back, "Quit your yapping. I'll fly through the night. I'm a bird, I don't mind it, and I'll hide this tomorrow. Well, you'll never find it." And at 6:56 the next morning, he did it. It was such a terrible place that he hid it. He let that small clover drop somewhere inside of a great patch of clovers 100 miles wide. Find that, but I think you will fail. And he left with a flip of his black-bottomed tail.
I'll find them. I'll find them on bus. I'll find my small friends on that small speck of dust.
And clover by clover with care, he picked up and searched and he called,
Are you there?
but clover by clover, he found that the one that he sought for just wasn't around. And by noon, poor old Horton, more dead than alive, had picked up and searched and piled up 9,005. Then on through the afternoon, hour after hour, till he found them at last on the 3 millionth flower. "My friends," cried the elephant, "tell me, do tell.
Are you safe? Are you sound? Are you whole? Are you well?
When that black-bottomed birdie let them go and they dropped, they landed so hard that all their clocks stopped. So Horton, please, they asked, will you stick by us while we're making repairs?
I'll stick to you small folks through thin and through thick.
Humph.
For almost 2 days, you've insisted on talking with persons who've never existed. And I'm here to state that your silly nonsensical game is all through.
And the young kangaroo in her pouch said,
Me too.
with all of the Wickershams, whose help she'd engaged, he was going to be roped and he was going to be caged. And as for that dust speck, that
we will boil.
in a steaming hot kettle,
Feed on that oil.
boil it? That they can't do. It's full of persons. He'll prove it to you.
Miss Mayor, you've got to prove that you really are there.
And down on the dust speck, that scared little mayor quick called a big meeting in Whoville Town Square. The people cried loudly. They cried out in fear.
We're here. We are here.
That was clear.
That was clear as a bell. You kangaroos surely heard that very well. All I heard was the small voices
And the young kangaroo in her pouch said,
and
grab him! And tie the knots so tight that dumb dust speck in hazelnut juice. Horton fought back with great vigor and vim, but the Wickersham gang was too many for him. He called to the mayor, "Don't give up, I believe in you all."
A person, no matter how small.
Great gusts of racket rang high through the air, and they rattled and shook the whole sky. The mayor called up through the howling mad hullabaloo, "Hey, Horton, how's this? Is our sound coming through?" I just fine. Are you sure every booth down in Whoville is working? Quick, look through the town. Is there anyone shirking? Then through the town rushed the mayor from east to the west, but every who seemed to be doing their best. But it wasn't enough, all this ruckus and roar. She had to find someone to help her make more. She raced through each building. She searched floor to floor. And just as she felt she was getting nowhere and almost about to give up in despair, she suddenly burst through the door and discovered one shirker. A very small shirker named Jojo was standing, just standing, and bouncing a yo-yo. She grabbed her and climbed up to the top of the Eiffelberg Tower. She said, "This is your town's darkest hour. We have got to make noises in greater amounts, so open your mouth for every voice counts." When they got to the top, Jojo cleared her throat and shouted out, "Yeah!" And then their voices were heard. They rang out clear and clean. Do you see?
What I mean, they prove that there are really people on this.
No matter how small. And the whole town was saved?